He was 20 years old. His father had been dead for 1 week. The tractor was broken. The bank was calling. And the land, 200 acres of corn and clay, sat silent, waiting for someone to tell it what to do. At the funeral, people said he was strong. He wasn't strong. He was just too tired to cry. The tractor sat in the barn like a dead animal. Its engine was rust. Its tires were flat. Its soul had left with his father. He ate dinner alone that night. 2 chairs, 1 plate. Across from him, an empty coffee cup that would never be filled again. He walked the fields at dusk. The corn was almost ready. His father had planted it. He would have to harvest it alone. The letter came on a Tuesday. Certified mail. Red letters, past due. The farm had 30 days. The first morning alone, he stood at the kitchen window. His father's coat still hung by the door. His father's boots still waited beneath the window. A home does not empty all at once. It empties slowly. He looked at his reflection in a dusty mirror. The boy looking back had no idea what to do, but he made a decision anyway. He drove to the John Deere dealer with nothing but hope. Hope is not currency. The salesman was kind. Practice kindness. He looked at the credit history, the farm's age, the boy's age. Then he said 4 words that should have ended the story. Sell the farm. You can't handle it. He sat in the parking lot for a long time. Rain fell on the windshield. He did not turn on the wipers. He did not cry. He started the truck. Back home, he walked past the dead John Deere. He walked past the empty barn. He walked to the far garage, the one no one used. Inside, 3 old tractors sat under dust. None of them were green. That night, he worked by lantern light. His hands were soft. They wouldn't stay soft. No one helped him, not because they were cruel, because they had their own farms to save. He learned to be alone. A neighbor offered to buy the land. The offer was fair. The answer was the same. No. On the 43rd night, he turned the key. The engine coughed. It sputtered. Then it roared. An old Ford resurrected. The first day in the field, dust rose behind him like a flag. He was not a farmer yet, but he was no longer a boy. He kept a ledger. Every penny counted. Most months, the pennies lost. A second tractor came back to life. Then a third. The dead John Deere stayed dead. He didn't need it anymore. The local banker was a woman with gray hair and reading glasses. She read his ledger. She asked one question. How did you get these tractors running? He answered, I didn't have a choice. She signed a loan. The drought came in July. The corn turned brown. The sky refused to cry. He walked the cracked earth and picked up dry soil. He built irrigation from junk, old pipes, a pump from a scrapyard, hoses patched with tape. Water sprayed unevenly, but it sprayed. The John Deere salesman drove past the farm one afternoon. He watched the boy on the old tractor. The boy did not wave. At the grain elevator, the older farmers watched him unload. They said nothing, but their eyes said everything. Maybe we were wrong. The first profit was small, a few $1,000s, but it was positive. For the first time in 2 years, the farm was not dying. The second harvest was bigger. He hired a teenager from town. 2 tractors ran in the field together. The farm was breathing again. The John Deere salesman came back. His tone was different now, softer. He mentioned partnership. The young farmer said, I don't need anything from you. Years later, a teenage boy stood beside him. The boy's hands were soft. The farmer placed his father's worn gloves into those soft hands. Start with this one, he said. She's old, but she'll teach you. 20 years later, the farm was unrecognizable. More land, more barns, more tractors. The boy who was told to sell now owned more than anyone expected. He drove past the John Deere dealership one last time. It was closing. He did not slow down. He had already won. He thought about the boy he was, standing in an empty barn, too young, too poor, too stubborn to know he should quit. That boy saved him. He visited his father's grave. He placed an ear of corn on the stone. I kept it, he said, like you asked. His father's notebook was still in the drawer. Page after page of soil maps, planting notes in one sentence. 1 acre at a time. Young farmers came to him now. He taught them what no one taught him, not because he was generous, because he remembered being alone. The dealership closed. The sign came down. He did not celebrate. He just kept driving. The old tractor, the first one, still ran. It sat beside a brand new machine. He loved them both. The kitchen table was full now. His wife, his children, his son in the chair where his father used to sit. The coffee cup was filled every morning. He walked the fields at sunset. The corn was tall. The house lights were on. He was exactly where he was supposed to be. The boy he was, the one in the empty barn, faded into the man he became. The same person, 2 different worlds. They told him to sell. They said he couldn't handle it. They offered him an easy way out. He refused. Not loudly, not dramatically, just quietly, 1 acre at a time, 1 repair at a time, 1 harvest at a time. The land did not forgive him. It did not need to. It just waited, and he showed up every single day, without being asked. That is not a story about farming. It is a story about refusal. And the thing he didn't sell was himself. Long pause. The tractor is still running.